We are now going to go over additional techniques in improving lighting. These techniques include the use of diffusers and styrofoam cutouts. A diffuser is a device that spreads out or scatters light to give off a soft light which helps eliminate harsh overexposures and shadows and create a more natural looking image. The diffusers that we use are called diffusion cylinders, which are very useful with macro photography. The styrofoam cutouts that we use are homemade but can be incredibly useful and effective in improving lighting. The cutouts are used when the diffusion cylinders alone are not enough to improve the lighting. The typical specimens that may require the use of a diffuser and a styrofoam cutout are the more shiny and reflective specimens like coleoptera. Specimens that will typically not require the use of a diffusion cylinder or cutout are the less reflective or non-reflective specimens like Lepidoptera. Also, the larger the specimen, the larger the diffusion cylinder and styrofoam cutout. As you can see with this coleoptera with spread wings, this specimen will require the use of the largest diffusion cylinder and a larger styrofoam cutout. For smaller specimens, like these two coleoptera here, these will typically only require the use of one of the smaller diffusers and a smaller styrofoam cutout. Also, with different shots, you will require different size diffusers. For example, this stand here, which is used for dorsal and ventral shots, will usually only require the smaller medium-sized diffusers. But with the stand that is used for lateral and head shots, this will always require the use of the largest diffuser, as smaller ones are not large enough to go around. For different types of shots, for either the dorsal, lateral, ventral, head, the size styrofoam cutout should not change with the different shots. Also, when using diffusers and styrofoam cutouts, your lighting intensity of your image will decrease, so you will often have to increase the intensity on the dynalight. So for actually setting up our diffusion cylinder and our styrofoam cutout, our specimen setup, and in our desired lens position. This specimen is a little too large for the smaller diffusion cylinders, so we're going to be using the largest one. And notice how the cylinder is fairly close to the end of the lens. So to be safe, when we actually set it up, using cam lift, we can store this position and move our camera up to a safer distance. So we take our cylinder and we place it around the specimen. And if we need to, we place our styrofoam cutout on top of the cylinder. Now, once that's set up, we can return our camera to that safe position. And you want to be careful when doing this. If you go to that safe position, you want to make sure it won't be hitting either of these tools. The higher your magnification and the closer your camera lens is physically to your specimen, the greater your chances of actually hitting one of these tools. So you need to be careful about that. And also for higher lens magnifications, like when you're using the 65 millimeters, most of the time the lens will be too close to the specimen to even use either of these tools.